Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Peter Bury. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way in. I talk about all things Cardano and everything around the ecosystem. I have some really interesting news updates. These various bridges being launched on the Cardano blockchain. We have Wanchain launching their bridges, and their ecosystem is now connected to the Cardano blockchain. And we also have AnetaBTC launching on Mainnet. After a little bit of a hiccup with their launch last month, they've finally made it to Mainnet, and now we can use their protocol to bridge over BTC from the Bitcoin chain over to the Cardano ecosystem. So my first one up here is around voting for Project Catalyst. Project Catalyst is the funding mechanism in the Cardano ecosystem, and if you haven't registered your wallet, you have until August 18th to register it, and you need a minimum of 500 ADA in your wallet, and it has to be delegated to a stake pool in the Cardano ecosystem. That will allow you to actually vote and participate in the governance and direction of all these projects that are building on the Cardano blockchain. And if you haven't checked out the Catalyst Sprint series that I'm doing, I've got a separate playlist now that is opened, and you can see all of these proposals that these community members have submitted and have come on to the Learn Cardano podcast, and gave us a little pitch and a QA session around them all as well. So I'll put them all in that playlist so you can check them all out. Now, the first news item I have here is around Lending Pond. So Lending Pond was the first borrowing and lending protocol to launch with NFTs as collateral. Now, they have launched a new feature called renting. Renting is now live on the pond. Now, this is one feature that some other protocols are playing around with and going to launch as well. We have the team from Fluid Tokens. Now, I've spoken about Fluid Share before, and the ability to rent out books, music passes, plots in metaverses, and all sorts of different things like that. And there's a lot of really interesting use cases and utility behind it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that launch on Fluid Tokens. But the team from Lending Pond have launched that, and you'd be able to rent out various assets. Maybe there's some assets that you can borrow and then stake in a different protocol, and then earn some extra tokens there. And when doing so, you can come back and pay off your loan and make a little bit of profit. So that's the idea, and I'm pretty excited to see more protocols doing this. So Fluid Token and Lending Pond, a little bit of a competition there, but it really pushes the boundaries of innovation on the Cardano blockchain and makes these two teams really push for what is possible, come up with brand new ideas, and bring these really cool NFT DeFi ideas to the Cardano blockchain. Now, this next news story is around Cornucopias, and Paul here managed to get early access to the game so that he can have a little look around and see and experience the graphics. Now, he was going to do a live stream, but instead recorded it, and I'm glad he did, because he could record it in 4K, and it is absolutely stunning. The Unreal Engine 5 really takes the graphics levels to the next level. Look at the clarity of this. They've got the Cornucopias YouTube channel through here on the back on this panel of this TV screen. So it's absolutely stunning. I can't wait to get access myself and play it. I'll probably play it when all you guys are playing it anyway. But this is really cool, and I can't wait to see what else is coming out from the team. It's really cool. I can't wait. Now, this here is a really cool announcement from the Cardano Foundation and Demeter. So Demeter provide this level of SaaS infrastructure for developers in the Cardano ecosystem. So if you want to write smart contracts, you need all this other stuff around it, all the infrastructure, the DB Sync, Cardano nodes, and all this other stuff that you as a developer don't care that much about. You just want to write your code, write your smart contract, deploy something, and away you go. But you need all this infrastructure to actually run it on. So Demeter is a platform that allows you to have all that infrastructure spin up within a click. And the Cardano Foundation is supercharging that process by paying for it and giving you a free tier for that cloud hosting of that infrastructure. So now you can go to Demeter. I've already logged into my account here, but I've set up a particular node here. I've got it's a little bit old, but you can run the node and you can execute do queries on it, and do all sorts of things. You can start writing your dApps for free, experiment with things, and go ahead and deploy to the Cardano blockchain. So you've got some options there to do some really cool things, and now it's free thanks to the Cardano Foundation. And they say the foundation don't do anything. That is a massive injection into the developer community to actually get this type of infrastructure and tooling to developers to make it easier for them to develop on the Cardano blockchain. So I'm really excited about that one, and thank you Cardano Foundation for doing that. Encoins is an interesting project in that they're bringing privacy transactions to the Cardano blockchain. So you don't see or don't know who or what is paying for something, buying something, or moving assets around, and they allow it through their sub-ledger with Encoins ledger. So I'm really interested in the mechanics on how this one works. Privacy blockchains is something I don't have a lot of experience with, but I do have an interview with the team coming up so we can learn a little bit more about this. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get the notification as soon as that interview comes out. I'm pretty excited to learn a little bit more. Now, one of the interesting aspects around this is that because they're running that sub ledger, they will have essentially their own zero knowledge proof blockchain that will run on the side. And in that case, they have this thing called relayers. So if this is another opportunity for people to become a part of their ecosystem, such as myself, I'm a stake pool operator running a Cardano node, and I validate blocks on the Cardano blockchain. But here you can do it as a relayer on the Encoins ledger, sub-ledger, and you can do so and earn some of the fees through it. So it's here's some of the requirements for it. It's not extremely resource intensive, so you can use a low resource machine to actually run this at the moment. Eventually, over time, as the ledger gets bigger, you probably may need some more resources. But at the moment, this is a nice little opportunity for anyone that is interested in participating in another ecosystem alongside the Cardano blockchain. So Encoins, really interesting. That I've been supporting this team since they were at cMixer. They're writing a mixing protocol on the Cardano blockchain, and I delegated to their stake pool and was supporting their development at that point. So they've rebranded, they've expanded their roadmap of what they want to build, and now they're reaching out to the community for more engagement too. So really cool project. Keep an eye out for it and what they're building. Now, in my spare time, I do a lot of boxing. Yes, the art of human chess, and the team from Book.io were kind enough to sponsor me in that particular habit. Now, they participated in an auction to get their logo on my t-shirt, and a part of that is being mentioned on the video as well. So for those that don't know about Book.io, they're looking at decentralizing and improving, taking the publishing industry into the Web3 space. They're doing it through all sorts of technology and innovations that they're bringing to the blockchain, and allowing publishers to self-publish their own books, as well as create a more engaging reading experience where they can track the analytics of the readers and provide direct engagement with that particular audience. I think it's a brilliant use of Web3 technology, and will really take over how books are published and how they're distributed to users as well. So Book.io, if you haven't checked it out, please do at book.io. Now, this is the highlight news story for this episode, and this is Wanchain. So Wanchain made an announcement, I think it was back in 2021 at the Cardano Summit, and they were partnering up with IOG to build the bridges to bring assets into the Cardano ecosystem. Now, it has taken a little while to build this out and make it all happen. That's totally fine. We like things to be done correctly in the Cardano ecosystem, and Wanchain have now announced that they've deployed the new decentralized non-custodial bridges connecting Cardano Mainnet to 11 other networks. So these are other networks within the Wanchain ecosystem, and this is absolutely brilliant. I did go through their article here, and let's have a quick look at this. So now the Cardano Mainnet is connected to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Arbitrum, A-Star, Avalanche, BNB Chain, Octchain, Optimism, Polygon, Tron, and Wanchain. So that's a really big selection, but it's narrowed down to a particular set of assets. They're the assets there. You can see it more visually here. We've got AnetaBTC, ETH, USDC, USDT, and the one token as well. So it's just 5 assets that are bridging over to the Cardano ecosystem. And then of course you have ADA bridging back over to those various chains as well that can support them. But here are all the pairs as well and the directions of everything that's going. Now here we also have the policy ID for the assets on the Cardano ecosystem, and I will get to that in a moment. Now the teams have been working on this for a while and have worked with input output to make this all possible. Now I did have a look at the bridge as well and had a little play around with it. So if you're wanting to bridge assets back and forth between these various chains, you do have to select and choose the assets that are available, such as USDC, and then the corresponding chains that it's available on. So we've got Ethereum to Cardano. You can connect your either a MetaMask wallet or use Wallet Connect, and you'll be able to pull those assets over from Ethereum to Cardano. Now, I did dig into what is happening with this, how many people are using the bridge at the moment, just to see the activity. So I digged into that policy ID. You can grab that policy ID from that original article here. So there it is there. And then you can go to the Cardano scan and see what is actually minting off that. So we have the assets here, the USDC, USDT, ONE, ETH, and Bitcoin, all their assets, the asset fingerprints, and then the total supply at the moment. So total supply of USDC is 153. Not much. Total 17 transactions. So small test transactions are coming in. So people are interested. Now, if we actually have a look at the DEX activity to see what's happening on that side of things, you can paste in the policy ID of the token, the asset there, and it will come up with the liquidity pools that correspond to that particular policy ID. And we already have a USDC JED trading pair on Minswap. And you can see the volume here, total TVL 491 ADA. Not much yet, but I expect this to come up and start moving up, especially with a stablecoin pair such as this. It's both supposed to be the value of USD, so that should remain a stable liquidity pool to move your assets into. And as people are trading and swapping for one asset to another so that they can trade it elsewhere, you will be collecting the fees off that. So that's a pretty smart move to start moving liquidity and assets into there. So for example, it may be 1 or 2 people that own all the liquidity for this one at the moment, and if I do a swap, they'll essentially earn all the fees off that. So it's a really good DeFi play at the moment, and I'm pretty sure we'll start to see DEX incentives come out as well. So APRs and farming rewards for these type of trading pairs, so it will attract more liquidity to those DEXs. So really interesting to see, and I'd love to see this ecosystem grow a little bit more. Now, there's another one. AnetaBTC has also announced that they've launched their mainnet of their bridge from Bitcoin to Cardano. So now you can move BTC over to the Cardano blockchain and have the wrapped version of it. Their wrapped version is called cBTC. Now I did have a little play around with the interface and the application, and it's a really easy process to go through it. So you essentially just connect your Cardano wallet. In this case, I connected my NAMI wallet. Select the amount of BTC that I want to have moved over. You can see the amount of fees that the bridge will take, and then how much BTC you'll receive at the end. Click on Wrap BTC. This prompt will come up with instructions on what you need to do. So using the Moonshine wallet, there is an option for a message field, and in that message field, you need to add in the enterprise address, which you can see just here. So that is really important that you add it in. Now, once you've done that, then you can go through and transfer your BTC to this particular wallet address here, and the watchers on their platform will then see that come in, confirm that transaction, and then mint the wrapped BTC, the cBTC, on the Cardano blockchain. Please make sure you read the instructions and follow them carefully so that you don't lose your assets when trying to bridge them over to the Cardano blockchain. Now, I also did have a look at the liquidity for this one here. So I did a quick search for BTC, and there are some pools coming up. So I don't think these are the real ones here, but this one here is, and there is exactly 144 ADA TVL locked in this particular liquidity pool at the moment. So again, still very early days. I'm excited to see more liquidity from this appear and more people playing around with this. We may even see stable swap pools between iBTC and cBTC, so people can swap and trade between those two assets. Ideally, they should be identical as well. So it works kind of like the USDC and JED stable pair assets as well. So we'll see a little bit more of that come into play. But congratulations to both of those teams. Congratulations to Wanchain for finally bringing their bridge to the Cardano ecosystem, and to the AnetaBTC team for finally launching on the Cardano blockchain too. So really good to see, and I can't wait to see more of this cross-chain interoperability come to the Cardano ecosystem. Now, my last news item here is for climate neutral Cardano, and they have their raffle that's still going. I am just about to draw the raffle ticket for the last news update. So if you haven't put in your ADA handle in the comments, you're going to miss out. I'm going to draw this one. It may be this lucky 600 ticket. Fingers crossed. Good luck to anyone that has participated, and we'll see what tickets you get. But that's it for me for this episode. If you really enjoyed it, please consider give me a thumbs up, click subscribe, click on that notification bell. It will make you younger. No, it won't. I can't say that, but it will definitely get you more Cardano news in your inbox so that you will be kept up to date with everything that's happening in the Cardano ecosystem. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.